back to Total FTBL. Today we are talking about Ajax. Probably my biggest takeaway in the Champions League from yesterday. We had all the big teams playing, PSG, City, Real Madrid, Liverpool. But the biggest takeaway is Ajax has not lost a match in the group stage, and actually they've won every single match. They have a 100% win record. And I could go on to say that their group isn't easy. They had the champions of Portugal, Sporting. They had Borussia Dortmund, who have Erling Haaland. Now, Haaland struggled for injury a bit this season so far. He's only played 3 matches for Dortmund. And they had Besiktas, who finished last in the group, but still a strong side in Turkey. It was a very competitive group overall. And I think Ajax did very well, and I think everyone else knows that by now. So what makes Ajax so good? Ten Hag has them balling out, and I think they are very good in 2 different ways. The first one is the defensive phase. They're really good at pressing teams high and winning the ball back in the opposition's half specifically. We saw that yesterday in the game against Lisbon. They won the ball back and went on to score off those counters pretty much. They won the ball back in the opposition half and attacked the goal very quickly. Within like 5 seconds, they were in the opposition box and got goals. We saw that when Antony scored his goal, and again when David Neres scored his goal. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that makes them so dangerous in my opinion. They press really high, they're very organized, and they do very well to win the ball back. Similar to, you know, the Gegenpress and the links to German football vibes. And, you know, and Ten Hag might have taken that from his days at Bayern too, when he was an assistant manager over there. But that's just that's what I'm so impressed with when it comes to Ajax this season. The other thing is just in possession, their patience, and really Sebastian Haller getting the ball to him and creating opportunities for him to score. Now, he has tied Cristiano, or has become the only other player besides Cristiano to score in the history of football, to score in every single group stage match in the Champions League. Every single match. Now, he was a flop at West Ham. They bought him for £45 million. He struggled at West Ham, which honestly was a bit surprising to me because he is a player I look at that I think, oh, he will be successful in the Premier League. And specifically, he could be successful at West Ham for his ability in the box, finishing crosses. But I think the difference here is getting like more clear-cut opportunities and getting better opportunities than in the Premier League. When you're playing in Ajax in a system where you have David Neres, Tadic, one of those 2 on the left, and then Antony on the right, just constantly whipping balls into the box, and not only putting balls into the box, but putting them into the right areas. And on top of that, when you win the ball back so high, the opposition team is unorganized at that moment in time. So he's finding space in the box and just has more space in the box to finish these chances. And I think that's what makes him so successful at Ajax. I'm happy for him. He's taking his opportunities and he's really making an impact. Now, when speaking about Sebastian Haller, I think the recruitment there is actually very impressive. And we got to give a shout out to Mark Overmars and Edward van der Sar for the recruitment they've done at the club. But when you look at Sebastian Haller, they spent £20 million on a player that flopped at West Ham, you could say. To spend 20 million for Ajax is a lot of money. I don't know if any other club in the Netherlands are spending that amount of money. So to go out and spend it on a player that has very much underperformed at West Ham, to show that faith and then to see that work out is very impressive for me. And it doesn't just stop at Sebastian Haller. You look at Antony specifically as well. Berghuis, who came in, who is somewhat a no-brainer. I mean, he was on the Dutch national team. The recruitment there is fantastic. It's spot on. If we had to criticize them in one aspect, I think they are really good winning the ball back high, and they have only conceded 5 goals in the Champions League so far. But one thing I'm somewhat eerie of is when other teams break the lines and get past their original press, how they will do against a Real Madrid, PSG, teams that are great on the counter. You know, you'll have Vinicius and you'll have Mbappe, you'll have players like this running at your back line. And so I don't know if they've been really tested like that. They only played Erling Haaland once in the group stage so far. And not to take away from Sporting or Besiktas, but it's not the same as Mbappe or Haaland running at you. So I think they're yet to really be tested defensively. So that might be one of my concerns. But at the end of the day, they have a positive goal differential of 15, and they've only conceded 5 goals. So they're looking really good at the moment, and I'm excited to see how far they can get. But for me, when I watch Ajax this season, it leads me to now look at every match in terms of almost a test for Ten Hag, and seeing if it's almost like an interview to see if he's ready for United and kind of what system he would bring to United. Every time I watch or look at Ajax, I'm like, okay, what is he doing? What is Ten Hag doing tactically, and will that fit at Manchester United? He would fit perfectly under everything I just described. I mean, it kind of fits Ralf Rangnick and what he's trying to do there, specifically on the defensive phase. And I think a lot of teams will try and press you high and win the ball back high. But what I saw at Ajax was very similar to Leipzig when Ralf Rangnick was there, in that not only do they press high, but when they win the ball, they attack very quickly and try and progress the ball forward very quickly and get goals. And that's why I think he would fit in at Manchester United. I think he fits Rangnick's ideologies perfectly. Anyways, I've been your boy Kid Pesh. Like, subscribe, and then comment down below. I actually want to read your comments, okay? I want to read it in the next episode. Let's see some comments, baby. Comment down below if you think Ajax is the dream spot for a sporting director. Because right now, I'm looking at it like, if I could go to any club as a sporting director, it damn near is Ajax.